What's happening? Alright, let's get things ready. We got coffee. Cat's being all weird. Not really thrilled about that, but what are you gonna do? Time for a show. The show must go on. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Thursday. It's November 12th, 2020. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Good. Good. I got stuff in my eyeballs. Well, yesterday was a weird day. Wednesday, yes, yesterday was Wednesday. I felt anxious pretty much from moment one, waking up, and the day didn't get a lot better. It wasn't a bad day. It was hard to stay focused. It was hard to be productive, and I did get things done. I got a lot of things done, just not on the level that I wanted to. And I wasn't as happy and relaxed doing them as I would have liked to have been. Today feels like it's going to be a better day, though. Today I have far less to do, far fewer meetings and appointments. I have I'm not going to call it a massage because that implies that it feels good. One of my clients' friends is a Rolfer, a structural integrator. He's also an occupational therapist, but he's kind of a wizard, and so we do a little bit of trade, and he's going to work on my shoulder and really dig in and get in there. And he's done some other work for me recently that's just been awesome. So I'm looking forward to that, even though in the moment I won't be. And I'll probably go to the gym. And I've got a call with another client this morning. And a call with a potential client in the afternoon. Yeah. One thing to let you know, More Sports Radio may not go up on time. In fact, it's not up on time, and the video might be a little while. I woke up to some messages from Julius. We're actually just trading messages. For those of you who don't know, Julius is he's our sound engineer. He's our editor. He does a great job on the podcast and has for literally years. He also lives in the Philippines. And they've just had a really bad typhoon, the worst one in over a decade. For those of you who don't know what typhoon is, it's a hurricane, but it happens in the Pacific. For some reason, they get different names. But they've had a really bad one, and power's out, internet's out, and lots of water, and he wrote me to let me know, hey, that's not going up for a few hours. I said, oh, all right, well, he's safe, his family's safe, everybody in his area seems okay, as bad as it is. So shout out to everybody over there, and yeah, it was something I was aware of in messaging with him, and I let him know that, hey, we're not getting much in the way of news from the rest of the world right now. We're pretty hyper focused on what's going on here, and I understand that. I don't like it. The way I get most of my news, other than the incidental ways that we all get it through, other people saying things, social media and whatnot. I've got a few Google Home smart speakers, Nest speaker, whatever they're called now. I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 4 of those scattered around the house. And part of my morning routine after my coffee, as I make my second cup of coffee, is to have those speakers tell me the news. And you can configure what segments come in, and I've got what do I have? I've got NPR, BBC, Al Jazeera, and the newsworthy, which is really a podcast, and I think they're all released as podcasts. But it gives me a pretty good balance on what's going on locally and globally, and it takes about 12 minutes to get through it all, maybe 15. And so I leave it on while I'm doing other stuff. Keeps me reasonably informed. As martial artists, we know we need to be aware, but we need to be aware of more than just what's going on in our bubble, because the things that go on further out can have implications. If we're not aware that, I don't know, a storm is coming, because we don't pay attention to the weather, we can't make sure we have whatever we need for the storm, or to make sure you close the windows, or I don't know, whatever it is. But there's preparation involved. Got to be aware. A martial artist pays attention to what's going on, as stressful as that can be, so we can protect ourselves. There we go. Self-defense is more than just pushing back an attacker, a physical attacker in that moment, in an acute situation. Self-defense is quite a bit more than that. All right, Google, where did you move notifications? Ugh. I love when they make updates and then you don't know what's going on. What is happening? Oh, YouTube Studio is a separate app now. That's great. That's just what I wanted. Come on. My tablet, where I get all my comments from you guys. Apparently, with the last YouTube update, I need to do something differently to get the comments. Anyway. What else is going on today? We're another step closer to really heavily promoting the programs over social media ads, Facebook ads specifically, to start. I've been working with somebody on that, and we shot some messages again yesterday. Hoping to work on the book more today. Put up a message on Patreon yesterday about what's going on behind the scenes. And as promised, the thing I alluded to about another podcast, I went into more detail on that. That call is happening on Friday at 2 o'clock. Good morning, Stacy. Friday at 2 o'clock. No, 3 o'clock. I think 3 o'clock. Maybe 2 o'clock. I don't remember. I wrote it down. But that call's happening on Friday. And we'll see where we're going from there. I kind of want to go back to bed. I'm tired. I slept well. Are you just... Come on. What is your damage? Why are you being problematic? Am I going to have to go get my laptop to read comments? It's ridiculous. We'll give it another minute. It says pending. I mean, this tablet is 8 years old, but so what? See? Pending. Boy. All right. I'm gonna grab my laptop. It's right there. No, it's not. It's in the car. How am I going to do this? Oh, that's how I'm going to do this. Frank is always kind enough to leave me the comments. So I can't promise that if someone, if someone else left a comment, I may not be getting it. Frank, where's Frank? Frank. There we go. Questions for Thursday. Ha! So if somebody else left comments, I'll figure this out, and I'll read those tomorrow. And my apologies to you. But at least we got something. We got stuff from Frank. So, yay. Yesterday was Veterans Day. If you or someone you love is a veteran, shout out to them. I am not. Both of my grandfathers were. I think that was it. Yeah. Honoring the sacrifices many have made for our country in the name of freedom and democracy is the very foundation of Veterans Day. Charles Rangel. I wish Veterans Day and veterans in general got more attention, respect. It can be hard to have a conversation about veterans and veterans affairs without it becoming political. But I'm going to try. If someone's a veteran and they have elected, because right now everybody serving is choosing to do so. Maybe they feel like they don't have a great choice, but they're still choosing to do so. They're choosing to potentially put their life in harm's way in a way that most Americans, most people, would never choose to. Maybe they do it, it doesn't matter why they do it. If they choose to do that, we should have their back. Oh, great, thank you. Thank you, Stacy, I appreciate that. Stacy checked yesterday's episode and there are no other comments. So I'm not missing anything, so I feel better. You've all probably seen the posts about suicide rates of veterans, issues with veterans getting good medical care. I'm not going to talk about those things because I'm not an expert on those things. I just think there shouldn't be a disconnect between what people are willing to give for others and the way we treat them when they're done, or even during. If you go back to last Monday's episode with Robin Murray, there was a disconnect. She served. Shouldn't have gone the way it did. And I don't know what the solution is. I don't pretend to have a solution to the problem. But my guess is it has to do with an attitude, a value, that we value the war more than the people. And if we treated war like a bunch of people trying to kill a bunch of other people, directly or indirectly, I think we'd have a different outcome. I think war would occur less frequently. Yeah. It's a shame. Without heroes, we are all plain people and don't know how far we can go. Bernard Malamud. I've talked about this in the context of martial arts, that if we really want martial arts to grow, we need to have figures for people to aspire to. We need to elevate some of us to the highest standing. And not just actors. We need all sorts of people. We need professional martial artists. We need professional martial artists on TV presenting research and showing really cool fight choreography and stunt work and combat and practical self-defense and tricking and weapons, right? All of it, because that's one of the beauties of martial arts, is that there are so many different aspects, so many different angles that you can take in being a martial artist. You have so many different ways that you can follow through with it professionally. Sometimes you just make your own path, like I did. And I think you could have the same critique about veterans, soldiers. Now, I don't know what it's like to be a kid growing up today, but as a kid growing up in the 80s, I played Army with my friends. I remember this one day, I wore all camouflage and loaded up a backpack and wandered around the woods with an old corded phone, just the handset and the cord stuffed into my pocket like it was a radio. And I thought that was the coolest thing. Why? Because there's something inherently admirable in military service. The at least the way that it is presented to us as civilians. These people are willing to go out and put their lives at risk for our freedom and our ideals. Again, this is where it gets close to a political statement. Are there things that soldiers are forced to do that maybe I don't agree with? Yeah, of course. But that doesn't mean that the individual serving can't have my complete respect and admiration. Just as there are martial artists out there who I respect in certain ways, but not others. There are plenty of people I've met through martial arts who I respect their skill, but I think they're terrible people. And then there are others who, they're wonderful people. They mean well. They're not very skilled. It's okay. It's okay to compartmentalize like that. And I think sometimes you have to. This nation will remain the land of the free only so long as it is the home of the brave. Elmer Davis. I don't know what to say to that one. Yes, I agree. True. We've had a number of movies come out over the last 10 years that to me seem to be more behind the scenes, first-hand account, real, whatever you want to call them, around war and conflict. And the one that's coming to mind right now is Lone Survivor. And it was an intense movie. I'm glad I've seen it. Not something I'm going to watch for on a casual Thursday night. Hey, let's watch this. Oh, Stacy says, bravery does not mean fighting. Sometimes it can be using your voice, no matter how small. That's bravery. Yeah, I agree. Bravery is doing something that... Bravery lines up near integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing even when you don't have to, even when it's difficult. Bravery is taking action. In my mind, as I think about things that are brave, it's usually putting yourself at risk to reduce someone else's risk when you, in a situation where others would not. Going into a burning building as a firefighter, that's brave. Serving on the street as a police officer, that's brave. Being a soldier, that's brave. But there are plenty of other examples of bravery if we look at that definition. I think you could make the argument that that the choices, let's say, some single mothers make are brave. Um, to prioritize raising their children, and maybe not just single mothers, but to prioritize raising your children and sacrificing things that would be personally beneficial. There's an element of bravery in there. There's duty, and it all kind of blends together. My definition of bravery might be different than yours. Stacy's definition with speaking up, with using your voice. Sometimes let's say you just as you might step in to assist someone being assaulted that you see on the street, you could use your voice in a similar way. You put yourself at risk. By using your voice, that person is less at risk because now the assailant knows that there's someone observing. Right? So it's a balance. Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who died protecting it. Unknown. A flag is a symbol, and symbols can be incredibly powerful. And symbols can mean different things to different people. I am sure I don't see the American flag the same way that a soldier might. I'm sure that there are differences in the way my generation sees the American flag versus, let's say, my grandparents, the ones who served in World War II. I'm sure when Americans look at our flag, we see it differently than people from another country. It's a symbol. A symbol has power. But it's what you do with that symbol that matters the most. A lot of martial arts schools have symbols. They have patches. They have flags. They have stripes. They have rank. Martial arts is full of symbols. The symbolism is, honestly, it's a pretty important part of what we do. And whether you feel that that's derivative from military or not, I don't know that matters. It's a symbol. What does that symbol represent to you? How do you reflect on it? How does it serve you? Because that's the point of a symbol. It's to give you something, whether it's motivation or whether it's unity. There's something there. But I think it's also important to note that I said it, but to remind you, the same symbol can mean different things to different people. And it is arrogant to suggest that a symbol's meaning should be universal, because we all have different experiences. I'll leave that one there. We've got one more. This one's from our most famous representative of the day here. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. John F. Kennedy, JFK. This gets very close to something that I think I've talked about this on the show, a change that I've made in my personal life. And it's around apologizing. I I care a lot, or used to care even more, about what other people think of me. I work really hard to make sure I don't wrong anyone. I try to treat people very well. But unfortunately, kind of tied back to the last thing, a symbol, an action. I'm doing a show and you have food. You do. There's no way you ate all that. She's been terrible the last few days. It's been very frustrating and hard to get work done. Where was I? Oh, apologizing. That led to a lot of apologizing. And one of the things I noticed once I finally became aware of it was that because so many people apologize, most people don't receive apologies the way that I was hoping they would. I'm sorry I said that in a way that was hurtful. I'm sorry that I did that. I'm sorry that I didn't meet that deadline. And what people hear is an excuse. So now what I try to do, instead of uttering the words, I try to show the action. What can I do? How do I make it right? And present them with that. Or there are times I don't even say anything. I just do it. I screwed up. Here's where I screwed up. Here's what I've done to make it right. I will. Remember when long-time viewers, not that long ago, I watched a farm, like what, a month ago? Caretaker for a farm. The guest house I was staying in had a mini trampoline. I jumped on it. One of the springs broke. Instead of leaving a note, hey, I broke the trampoline, I left a note that said, I broke the trampoline and I ordered a new spring and it should be here tomorrow and I'm sorry. Let me know if you would like me to come back and install the spring. What else can I do? Right? Like, make it right. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. If we value our veterans, if we value our service people, we have to act like we value them. Now we've come full circle. We have to treat them well and not just give them a one day a year that we care about them. They need to be a priority. I think it's fair to say that anything incurred while serving the country during war or peacetime by any military member, mental, physical, emotional, they shouldn't have to suffer from that. They shouldn't have to suffer financially. They shouldn't have to suffer time-wise. They shouldn't have to suffer. We should make it right. We as a nation. And that's where we'll leave. So, tomorrow's Friday. I'll be back with some jokes. I'll be back with some more stuff from all of you. And I hope if you have stuff that you want me to talk about, you'll leave it in the comment section below. As soon as we're done, I'm going to figure out what I got to do on this so I can get your comments here. I want to thank all of you for watching and supporting. At some point later today, Martial Arts Radio will be live. Not live, but it'll be up. It's a great episode. Kind of bummed that this one didn't get to talk about it. Andrew and I put some good time into this one. It's a cool topic. If you want to support what we do here at Whistlekick, buy something at whistlekick.com or support the Patreon. I've had a couple people, unfortunately, back out of the Patreon. Our revenue there is going down, which kind of stinks. Because it's not like it was covering all the bills as it was. All right. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Because we do it every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time here on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.